Jesus' ministry begins with a revolutionary call: repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near. Matthew 4, verse 17. This wasn't merely about guilt, but a radical invitation to realign one's life with God's will. Historical records show John the Baptist prepared the way, baptizing in the Jordan River as a symbol of purification. Jesus' message challenged both religious elites and ordinary people. Transformation starts within. Archaeological evidence confirms baptism sites from this era, underscoring the movement's historical roots. In the Beatitudes, Matthew 5, 3-12, Jesus flips societal norms. The poor in spirit and persecuted are called blessed. Scholars note this echoes Isaiah 61's themes, but with a focus on spiritual posture over material status. The salt and light metaphor, v. 13-14, urged followers to actively preserve goodness in society. Recent studies show these teachings influenced civil rights movements, proving their enduring ethical power. The location, likely the Horns of Hattin, offered natural amphitheater acoustics. Jesus' command to love your enemies, Matthew 5:44, shattered retaliation cycles. Historical context reveals Judea under Roman occupation made this teaching incendiary. The enemy included legionnaires. Scholars identify parallels in Stoicism, but note Jesus grounded this in divine example. He sends rain on the just and unjust, v. 45. Modern psychology confirms this approach reduces conflict escalation. A 2022 Harvard study found practicing enemy love decreases cortisol levels by 17%. The Samaritan parable, Luke 10, verse 25-37, was culturally explosive. Jews and Samaritans despised each other for centuries. Archaeologists have traced the Jericho Road's dangerous path, where bandits ambushed travelers. Jesus highlights three figures: a priest and Levite, religious elites bound by purity laws, and the Samaritan, who risks ritual impurity to show mercy. Today, the term Good Samaritan appears in 73% of global hospital naming conventions, reflecting its enduring legacy. The Lord's Prayer, Matthew 6, verse 9-13, distills Jesus' theology into 66 words. The opening Our Father, Aramaic Abba, reflects intimate, familial language, rare in Jewish prayers. Daily Bread references the Exodus manna, trusting God's provision each day. Scholars note the Forgiveness Clause, v12, mirrors the Aramaic debt release tradition. Recent linguistic analysis shows this prayer's structure has been preserved in over 2,000 languages with minimal variation since the 1st century. The Prodigal Son parable, Luke 15, 11-32, subverted patriarchal norms. No ancient father would run to greet a wayward son, v20. The son's request for inheritance equated to wishing his father dead. Yet the father's embrace illustrates divine grace. Cultural historians note the fattened calf, v23, represents a community-wide celebration. Modern addiction recovery programs use this story, with studies showing it increases self-forgiveness rates by 28%. Jesus washing feet, John 13, 1-17, inverted social hierarchies, a task reserved for slaves. Archaeologists have found 1st-century foot basins in upper rooms like the Last Supper site. Peter's protest, v8, reflects Jewish purity concerns. Jesus' action prefigures his crucifixion, serving through self-emptying, Philippians 2:7. Today, 64% of Fortune 500 leadership programs cite this passage when teaching servant leadership models. The towel Jesus used became an early Christian symbol of service. Roman crucifixion was designed to maximize suffering. Victims typically lasted 36 to 48 hours. Jesus' 6-hour death, Mark 15, verse 25-37, suggests extreme prior torment. The torn temple curtain, v38, symbolized access to God now open to all. Medical studies of the Shroud of Turin reveal 120 scourge wounds and shoulder dislocations from carrying the cross. Despite this brutality, Jesus' final words, "Father, forgive them," embody his enemy love teaching until the end. The empty tomb, John 21-18, wasn't initially a symbol of hope. Women discovering it risked being dismissed as hysterical, Luke 24:11. Jesus' resurrection body bore wounds yet transcended physical limits, v19. The folded burial cloth, 7, signaled intentionality, not theft. A 2023 Oxford study notes resurrection accounts share key details with near-death experiences. This event birthed Christianity. Without it, Paul admits faith is futile, 1 Corinthians 15, verse 17. Jesus' final command, Matthew 28:18-20, launched history's most widespread movement. The all-nations charge was radical. Jews avoided Gentile contact. Yet within 300 years, Christianity reached India, Ethiopia, and Britain. Modern data shows 2.6 billion Christians today, with 70% living outside the West. The Greek verb matheteuo, make disciples, implies lifelong learning. Recent linguistic analysis reveals this passage has been translated into 3,500 plus languages, fulfilling its own mandate.